Christopher. My name is Victor Valentinuzzi. I'm from Costa Rica, Central America. I came using the Facebook tool for augmented reality since like a year from alpha testings. And yeah, I teach, I have few videos on my YouTube channel right now.
Victor, I know you're living in Costa Rica. How was the experience like being in the alpha stage of testing augmented reality with Facebook?
Well, was a really good and interesting stage of the software because everything was broken essentially. Even I was testing on Windows, and essentially everything was broken. The installer even doesn't run, but that was a scary part of about Spark ER tool. But we have now in a different stage of the software. Right now is pretty much better right now. And it's pretty cool creating with Spark ER. And it's a pretty advanced tool that many people can run and use it without any previous knowledge about programming. That is pretty interesting.
How do you hear about the program anyways? Like when did you first hearing about it?
I received the newsletter from the Facebook for developers. Yeah, I saw at that time I was taking a course, a mock about quality assurance and black box testing. And in that time, the instructor recommend us or the students looking or search for alpha testing, beta testings to report some books. So Facebook was SparkEI was a perfect school about box testing.
And you use a lot of sign distance field in your work. What is a sign distance field or SDF?
Oh, the signal distance fields.
Yes.
Well, this is a algorithm that makes you create data from algorithms. In the SparkEI paradigm of engine, you need a texture for your materials. And this is something about 3D knowledge. You can create also the textures with this kind of algorithm that is recurrent algorithms that has the property that can create data from algorithms. You can access it from the shaders, in the shaders patches.
Creativity is one of my intentions for this year. And with Peer CSS, you're basically creating art with just using code. And when I was making augmented reality filter, I thought making backgrounds are a little bit not challenging. So when I discovered SDF, I was very excited about it because essentially you can make shape and texture without using texture at all. So you're making shapes and lines just with code.
I think for a SparkEI developer, it's a good idea to consider the idea to use SDF because lightweight your filters because you don't have to import any texture. With that in mind, is if I can give an advice to the SparkEI developers out there, would be that.
Let's talk about why that's important. I think you mentioned it, but it's really the issue of compression, right? Why is using SDF more significant? I mean, not only because it's light. I noticed that one of the first effects that I made was makeup, and I had eyeshadow, but then after I imported it into Facebook or Instagram, they were blurred.
There are too many stories about people waiting for like an hour, waiting for debugging their filters on the device or in the Facebook or Instagram cameras. That's really funny. I'm frustrated.
Yeah, it was really funny because I was like wondering why the makeup was blurry, but it was a compression issue. And I think SDFs are important because by using code or patches to make texture, you don't have to make the file won't be so heavy, and more people can use it, and people with different phones can use it. Because I have a iPhone XR. And some of the effects that I made involve 3D objects, so they're super heavy. I mean, at one time I even have 2 3D objects into one effect.
Yeah, but like Facebook download the programming well, it's not a programming language, but it's the people have the power to create programs with this visual programming
Yeah.
uh, paradigm in the patch editor. So, but they don't. Sometimes they don't imagine have to imagine, because it's one of the most amazing things that I have talking in this year, or since most frequently since I post my YouTube videos about Sparky Art with people that they came from psychology or they came from design. They are not programmers, or they are even not computer science guys. They are psychologists. So, and they told me that, but I see the augmented reality like a possibility that people feel things. Like, as you know about my wave project, I was trying to create an environment there with people can surfing a wave.
Yeah.
Is
So
the
Vic,
possibility of the people came from 3D world, or some other people come from graphics, or some even comes from other areas that doesn't have, because the learning curve, Facebook came down for this. They put it in the floor, basically. We did this. Uh, how is programming visual programming paradigm?
yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of exciting because I think there's a Facebook hackathon, and Victor joined. I also joined as well, but he started his project already. I don't think I have even touched mine yet. He's making this beautiful wave pipe.
But this was really interesting. Play with the word effect that is the challenge for the hackathon, and I was a little bit sad because I talking from my device, and I want to talk about my from my computer to show my screen, make a screen there about the unit that I was seeing this morning. So I feel a little bit sad about that. But maybe some other day you can invite me, and I can show my screen in this Zoom call.
He basically created like a wave pipe, and it's really cool. Like it has a surfboard in the original version, where it just remind me of kind of like the rides at Universal Studio or Disneyland, where you kind of go in and it was like shaking. I just went to Universal Studio like on Christmas
Well,
before the entire global crisis, and when you're in the ride, you can feel the effects, not just see it. So Victor has created an effect where you can kind of feel the wave moving, and just really experience it like a roller coaster. So it's pretty cool.
I'm trying to create more word effects right now, and I will keep it in that way, because it's really funny. Word use the word unit.
I agree with what you said, that the software is really awesome because you don't really need how to code to use it. And we see that there's different people using the software, including doctors and history majors and designers. So it's quite awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's pretty advanced too, because there are CNNs, convolutional neural networks, running trained right there, giving, oh, this is a face, this guy is smiling, this guy is blinking. That is pretty advanced, and that is why we are have a new paradigm about programming, which is the reactive programming. Yeah.
yeah, I love it overall. I mean, I think the team, the Facebook team or the Instagram team, did a really awesome job. The gallery on Instagram is searchable now. I understood why they feature a few people at the beginning, because you want quality content to be in the gallery. But now that it has matured a little bit, you can actually find different AR effects now. Like, oh my gosh, I see myself there. It was so funny. And it's actually fun. I kind of like the creativity in the group. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
there are too many creators that is blowed his mind with this tool. It's amazing. They are playing really good stuff.
So, Victor, what are some of your favorite AR effects?
I got this guy O'Reilly. She got into the last year into the thing more. They was like the in the 10 top
Mm-hmm.
10 last year AR filters,
Mm-hmm.
and I like where he play how he plays with the environment,
Yeah.
and also he's a 3D creator. I'm not a 3D guy, but I see when I appreciate when people use the good
Yeah,
3D models.
I used to create 3D jewelry. I'm familiar with like 3D software and of course making 3D models and stuff like that. So with me, it seems like you can really do a lot of it because you can use 3D images or you can use 3D object, and I think it makes it really dynamic because if you don't know 3D, you can still make something and it could be awesome, right? Like when we spoke about SDF earlier, there's no texture at all, so there's no 3D, there's no 2D. So you're just making shapes with code, which is really awesome. Kind of like
Uh, and
CSS.
and and use the computer vision feature that has the program, because this is a computer vision software
Yeah,
in some aspect, because
let's talk about some of the computer vision in the software. So there's face detection, so you can put things around your face. There's iris detection,
yeah,
which so that it basically tracks your eyes, right? And then there's target tracking, so it can detect objects in the space around you if you want. And then
yeah,
there's hand tracking.
and plane tracking.
Oh yeah, and there's plane tracking.
There's like
Uh,
that 6 or 5 manners of tracking, ways of track things.
I like using plane tracking to make draw effects where you can allow the user to draw stuff. It just reminded me of Magic Leap because I was here at Stanford the other week, and I was playing around with Magic Leap software and I was drawing with the software, and it was so funny. Like a few days later, I made an effect on Instagram, and basically you could just kind of draw. It was like called strawberry draw, so you can draw with a strawberry, and it was almost the same thing as the Magic Leap program. So I thought that was really cool.
Honestly, I need to practice more with hand tracking right now. I was thinking about it because I never did a hand tracking filter right now. I was in that.
Yeah, I haven't done a hand tracking yet, and I just remind me of TikTok videos where there's some hand tracking there too. By the way, TikTok and Snapchat and Facebook, they all have augmented reality software. I just wanted to mention it there. I'm pretty neutral. I've been following the augmented program on Facebook for many years now. I might have applied years ago and didn't get it, which is okay.
Yeah, this software is an incredible piece of software, and that's the truth. That's really awesome.
But what are some of the things that you would like to see in the software in the future?
Well, this is pretty well designed right now. It's a pretty solid product. I see they have too many. They gave us a lot of tools. They sometimes they need to. I need is the thing they need is in the platform, because some modules are not allowed for some platform. For example, the deep link module is not accepted in Instagram, and the network module is not accepted on Facebook or otherwise. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but that kind of things I need to. I think they need to uniform it, admit in the both platforms. But the software is pretty solid. I don't know. I don't know what they must are asking to them, but it's a very good tool for me right now. I don't think he need change anything.
Awesome. In terms of the feasibility of the software, like what you can do with it, let's just talk about some of the stuff that you can talk about it that you can do with it so that the community understands. So I believe personally that it's going to be the future of content marketing, and it's just really awesome art because you're combining virtual with the physical. For me as an artist, is a lot of fun, and you can do a lot of things with it. So you can make eyelashes and put eyelashes on people. You can create makeup AR effects, and you could basically try on how you look, and you can like create dogs and pets. Yeah.
And allocate 3D models or like a cap and a helmet and an animated and character, a 2D dimension character or a 3D dimension character. That is really funny. I think those are the most people like it filters.
Yeah, you
The,
can
the
also.
funny ones.
Yeah, the funny one is pretty awesome. I love the funny one too because it kind of make you laugh.
Yeah, we are in front of a pretty disruptive tool because some other people are not doing funny things, are doing educational things,
Mhm.
and some others are making statistics things because they are making. I saw guy making bar charts like how is this like this where you put the statistics of in these things here. I, what you do with matplotlib. I how is the name in English? It's
Which one?
like a chart, no? It's the name chart,
Yeah.
right? With this kind of 3D models, yeah, like 10%, 5%, and then you create a bar chart with this kind of 3D models and
Oh,
showing statistics.
yeah.
They
Those are kind of fun. So I have nieces and nephews, and because of what the world is going through right now, I am spending a lot more time with my family, especially my niece and nephew, and they love these effects. So they use it on TikTok, and now that Instagram, I mean, I think they must be annoyed by me because I basically make these AR effects with them. All we do is make kind of funny, and they love these effects where you could guess or draw when it's interactive. They love that, and then
Yeah,
yeah.
it definitely the children ones are pretty are accepting the new technologies faster than older people. Some old people doesn't know what is a filter or what is a augmented reality, but the little ones they already know and they are pretty
They're
how to
smart, huh?
say yeah and they are pretty clever with the technology. So
Yeah, yeah. I must say that they do because on TikTok, my nephew shows me hand tracking. He's like, "Whoa, that's cool!" I'm like, "Whoa, I think
uh,
we can make that."
I think we are talking about the filter generation. We
Yeah,
can talk about the filter generation about this new generation of childs.
I think it's really awesome. I mean, they were teaching me how to dance on TikTok, and then my nephew was teaching me all these effects that I can use to add to my dancing. I haven't danced, by the way, but it's cool. The kids are getting smarter. I think they are more innovative in using technology more, like Victor said. How do you think companies are using, because I know you create an effect for a company, how are companies using augmented reality to help them with marketing?
Well, I think they are closing their branch to the users. This was a tourist company, and they make tours. So we create water ambient for them, for the users of the filter. That way, they can feel like they are in the tour, making actually the tour. But in that way, if Mahoma doesn't go to the mountain go to Mahoma. So it's like closing the brand to the users and making a remarkable time.
So I have tested or tried his effect that he made for the that does I think it's in Costa Rica, and it's basically the ocean and you're scuba diving, and it's really cool. Like it feels like I'm in the water, and you basically wear one of the scuba diving thing, and the water is blue, and it makes you feel like you're at the beach or on vacation, which is really cool. So you can kind of test it out and be prepared before you go on vacation. Costa Rica is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, I invited to all people after the coronavirus and all people, all countries reopen the borders.
And I think it's gonna be more important than ever because the restriction on travel right now, we can't travel, and or a lot of people are staying home. Then
Yeah, by now it's
yeah,
pretty important. Stay at home with our family and follow the sanity protocols. Everything.
yeah, the preventive measure protocol. Victor, you're a developer, so if you're a beginner and you wanted to try the software, how how would you begin? So pretend that you're not a developer and pretend that you don't really know 3D programming or anything like Photoshop or anything. How would you begin and start learning about making augmented reality effects?
Well, right now that's a complex question. Well, because I started looking for something actually, so something that is the future, because I was running a business in trade marketing in other things, advertising and other things. But I run to the technology because I saw technology is the way right now. Everything's gonna be by the technology in a few years, and even like self-driving cars, and we're gonna have robots, and this is the future. We have seen how the Internet of Things has come arrive, and the new paradigms about the edge computing, about the cloud computing, about smart houses, smart buildings, and everything's gonna be smart. So technology is the way. I think is everyone right now is important that understand that have to manage the technology field, because now the life is gonna be a net and you're gonna need hack that
Yeah,
hack.
so let me ask you, with technology advancing and what augmented reality I think is still new because it's still really edgy. And of course, when we talk about software that is produced by Facebook, we worry about privacy and data breaches and cookie tracking, especially when we're using convolutionary neural network, or people call it CNN, or face detection and all the other detection. Should we be worried about that? I even created a game called the Internet Game on Instagram, where when you're a truck and you jump through cookies and you jump through data storage, it just simple, and then unsecure locks. And that's
Uh,
basically, that's why I call it the Internet Game, because it's really symbolic of what we are facing today. On one end, we have all these high tech and tools that we can use to make the world a lot better and more fun, right? On the other hand, we have privacy issues and breaches and things that could harm us or affect us, or how much we pay insurance. How do we balance that?
this is privacy is one of the three components of the security triangle. I took that in a Cisco. It's a free course. Everyone, I pretty pretty sure that some kind of companies are behind this kind of. It's not easy manage the programs that people use to track networks or that kind of things. But and I don't know how people can make to access that tools, but information and their interest on this kind of things is pretty important.
I really love what you said about education, and it's really true. If you go to Udemy and Coursera, there are just a few courses that you can take, and a lot of these courses you don't have to pay anything. You can just kind of learn, and I think that's awesome. And then Victor here also teaches coding, or
Well,
on his
well,
YouTube channel.
I practice on my YouTube channel really, because I'm fighting to become a RAM because I understand JavaScript, I understand Python, I run npm, npx, I jumping, I don't doubt in jumping computer vision courses.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
started with a web development course, and right now people say that you are a self-taught person. I think that is not being a self-taught person. That is a person who learns with today's tools,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
how I learn Spark, reading the documentation from the docs from
You
the
read some
project.
documentation, really?
I I read all the documentation already,
Oh
but
wow, I have not touched any of the documentation yet. That's awesome, by
yeah,
the way. I don't want to make fun of you, but that's awesome.
I hold some assets from the alpha stage of the software
Yeah.
uh, on my drive, and in my videos I left the links.
Yeah. No, I actually I'm learning SDFs. I'm really obsessed with signed distance fills and shaders. So I'm actually learning how to make shaders now, and it's kind of funny because I have the link to the shader documentation,
Well, the
and
shader is a lot of read because I'm programmer. I might not idea what shader was. I have to read. I have to
yeah.
read.
Yeah, so I go to a lot of these lectures at Stanford about, so I was a web developer in college long time ago before web became famous. I was also a technical writer for a technical company when I was in college, and then also a technical writer and a developer at Cisco Systems before I went to law school. So I have some technical background because I used to create websites for companies, and I took I took a PHP class at Stanford. I did a lot of 3Ds, Photoshop, and everything by myself. I mean, it's just like hobby for me. I just never had time. Every time I open Spark, it's always at the airport because I was traveling a lot last year. This year, I was just like, creativity is my intention. So I also make jewelry. I paint as well. So I do a lot of artsy stuff. I make fidget spinner as well.
Yeah,
So it's just like weird, funny things. And then to share, I was just like, oh, since I have time, and I was doing pure CSS anyway, so as well just play with it, and I did, and it was a lot of fun, and I'm just really obsessed with that. And I've been, yeah, so I need to read the documentation. So um you're I'm gonna like probably go to Starbucks and read it. I know because I used to write these things, they're usually really dry, so
yeah. I cover more the technique and the API of the project, but some other people are in the creativity job, and they really like to create things for Spark. I just have like 7 or 6 filters,
yeah.
but yeah, and they are not very great
I
one,
think
but
I like yours. I like the green one where it looks like a film, and it's really cool. Like I feel like I'm going forward and then I'm going backward or something. Victor's Instagram account, so it's VARI_VN, and he has a few Instagram effects there that I really like. He teaches as well, so that's really cool. I basically only makes it for fun.
I need to make translation for my videos. I started to do my videos for the Spanish community because the translator is disabled in Chrome.
Yeah.
So I start to create Spanish content about the Spark, and that was the started motivation.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, and I see that the whole community all over the world are having or making YouTube videos to teach people how to do this, and they're in different languages. I think it's really awesome. I was talking to a nonprofit like 2 weeks ago at Stanford. He's basically has a nonprofit that low income Spanish community with food. We were just really talking about how to use technology like AR and AI to help the community, especially because I think it's kind of important to teach, because as these skills become very important, it's really kind of exciting for more women. Thank you very much. More women and humans of all color, race, and national origin to really learn technology so that they can better their life.
Yeah, it's necessary to understand their lives right now because everything is gonna be about tech now on. And
Yeah,
the other thing you were saying about teaching is true because the other motivation for making my videos is psychologist research
mhm.
about the ways people learn more, and the 90 or 95% you learn what when you teach somebody or you use it immediately in a
Yeah.
project.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah, that's
pretty
true.
important to teach.
Yeah, it's really true. I don't know about making YouTube video, but I was teaching AP history and AP biology for a startup in the valley. And what I didn't use AR because AR isn't really there yet. The year when I did it, I used this AI. So what I did was for my AP biology class and my AP history class, I created little chatbots on Facebook for them, so that they can learn. Especially, it helps with the multiple choice questions, right? So they didn't know what it was. They didn't know that it was. My students didn't know what they were. They thought they were like. They just basically say, that really cool stuff that you made on Facebook. Those are awesome. I'm like, thanks. So I made little chatbots for them, and I think all my students did pass their AP exam. So I'm really really excited about that. And it's true because when I was teaching that, I took the AP classes in high school. So, I have to basically refresh myself on more of the technical stuff like AP biology math. How do you calculate genes and how gene transfers and all that kind of stuff? But it was really fun. I mean, I love math and science anyways, even as a kid. But with AR, I think someone did a coronavirus, like 4 chapter, and you can basically learn about how the virus spread and stuff like that. So I thought that was awesome.
That was pretty important.
Yeah. I did little like coronavirus stuff, not like a big book on it, but it was just really one is preventive care. The other one is there were a lot of assaults against humans of racial descent because of the virus, because they originate from China. So I did one that says I'm not a virus, just a human. Because as an Asian American, we don't want to deal with racism. We
Mm.
really just kind of wanted to be safe. And I think more than ever, I think humans need to really collaborate with each other, because this kind of virus really it takes the world to actually stop it, because when one person has it, it spreads to the parents or the family, and then it just kind of goes on. Oh, it's viral. Yeah.
Community conscious.
Yeah, we need to be conscious about the community and kind of help stop it more than ever, and not just really stop hate. This is really more important than ever. I think if we can kind of use technology to do that, not to teach, right? Because we need to respect. I mean, the users are not the subject; they're users. They're using the technology for fun. So it's just really a way of communicating consciously to say, hey, we're dealing with this right now. And I created this, I'm not making anyone use it, but if you guys kind of like it, that's cool. you know? And they share it, that's even cooler, because we wanted to stop hate. And I think everyone is basically helping with that. And I kind of see that more of a globalism in augmented reality. I think more than ever. I mean, not just that the community is global. Like, I'm talking to you and you're from Costa Rica, but
Yeah.
I make a cultural mask because before New Year, I think Instagram was giving me a little bit of a hard time because they were like, well, I don't know whether it's suitable for our audience. And literally, it was just a cultural mask. And it's a mask that you can find at the Asian Art Museum.
Yeah, it's a globalized world right now more than ever.
Yeah, and it went viral. Like like people loved it. So really don't know. Like, I was surprised that after it was approved, many people used it.
Yeah, you have too many good results with your filters. You have too many.
It's kind of funny because like my New Year resolution or this year's resolution is creativity. I actually created a whole name for it. It's JACK. So it's joy, abundance, creativity, and kindness.
Well,
And create on the creativity part, I think I'm pretty much like did that because I
see,
make over 200 Instagram filter. All I did was just be creative whenever I can. So that was kind of fun. And so when my friends use it, I get like it's kind of cool as an artist when you see people use your effects. You're like, there's just that moment of joy, right? Like for example, I'll send you something to test and you'll send it to me and then you'll post, and then it's just kind of funny because you even post the ones with makeup. That just cracks me up, right? So it's just like moments of joy. I think as an artist you kind of want, to see how people use your effect, not like an ego thing. It's just more of like, oh, it's really cool. So I think that brings joy. And then the last one is kindness, and still kind of working on that. Hopefully I'm kind, but just really, those are the four things I'm focusing on this year. And I think augmented reality plays a big role in that.
yeah.
How can people find your YouTube channel?
Well, my YouTube channel is cyber. How is this cyber tutorials
Oh yeah.
in English? Yeah, cyber tutorials with Y in the first I.
My last question is, what is that one advice that you want to provide to the community? So whether it's the Stanford community or the Bay Area community or a global community, or even the augmented reality community, what is that one advice that you want to provide to us?
The best advice is be open about the ways you can learn. Be
Mhm.
open about the to learn new things, because right now people is getting away from tech areas, thinking the tech areas are pretty difficult. But sometimes you get I'm not pretty good on math, but I can use NumPy method for do matrix multiplications in Python, for example. So don't scare the people with the test when they are in learning test things. And for people that doesn't learn test skills, try to learn something and try to get deep about. Don't limit to use just your phone. Learn how that phone use. Don't limit to install an app or download an app. Try to understand how that app was built or things like that. I don't want to miss anything about this picture. Call it digital transformation. And digital transformation is about Internet of Things. It's about programming languages. It's about software. It's about hardware, and we are demanding in fact the the job opportunities in the tech areas, in the tech fields, are like 7,000 higher than in other fields. So this is a great opportunity for people. So
Awesome.
I think we don't have to waste free knowledge and foundation like I like to see other YouTube channels like the freecodecamp.org or Free Code Camp. I know many people knows about Free Code Camp YouTube channel and the Free Code Camp webpage. So they we can waste this opportunity to gain this knowledge.
Awesome. Thank you, Victor, for your time.
Thank you to you, Michelle.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.